It's a weird taste.
We've recorded, by the way. Right,
Oh.
Sean, Katie, Sean, Katie. Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Start again.
No, I'm not gonna sum up the entire of the first season because you made that joke a few times recently.
I don't know what you're talking about. Rings of Power has started again. Aren't you just, just so excited?
I'm gonna try and be optimistic.
That's really very convincing. Yep.
I was gonna try and say something else, but I just couldn't.
You're trying to be optimistic, yeah?
Should we talk about some of the tiffs with the first one? Should we talk about some of that, or should we not? What are we hoping they fix this season? Let's do that.
Number 1, everything doesn't look crap. 2, Galadriel's not as much of a Karen. Number 3, Elrond isn't such of a dweeb. Number 4.
Elrond was good in the first season. It's probably the best part of the first season.
Nah. Number 4, it's not plainly obvious who Sauron is. Number 5, Sauron doesn't look exactly the same as the guy who he was in the last season when he's trying to convince other people that he's not that guy who he was in the last season.
But with a wig and pointy ears.
Yeah. Because that's dumb. Number 6, Gandalf isn't Gandalf. Because if it's not Ian McKellen, don't want to know.
Oh, you sound like a lot of the people we didn't like with Solo. You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
No, because I don't care about Harrison Ford as much as I care about Ian McKellen.
I don't think it's so much the Ian McKellen. I think it's more of just that it doesn't make sense in terms of the timeline. Gandalf shouldn't be there.
Like, why wouldn't the head of the order go first?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though, when I was looking online, did the Blues Wizards not go there first?
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, and it turns out to be a blue wizard, then fair enough, but why are they making so many links to Gandalf
But
in
they're
terms
not.
of the things he
They
said?
still shouldn't be here at this point.
Oh, right, okay.
Third age, yeah. Second age, nope.
Okay.
Number 8, I suppose. 8. What else was I going to say? Explain why they would still use all of the rings, even though they know that Sauron has made the rings, and yet they're all still going to use the rings. Number 9, just cancel the show and do a more better show.
That wasn't what I was expecting to go through.
Oh no, sorry, number 9. Let's make Elendil and Isildur not as much of a dweeb.
Give them a bit more to do.
Yeah, because they're just dweebs.
You like the word dweeb today? Why?
I don't know.
I will say though, I do think Elrond and Durin were the best part of the first season.
In that one scene where they were together.
In the best part of the first season.
I didn't mind the opening.
Because I think he as Elrond, I don't know the name of the actor, I think him as Elrond was probably the best performance. In terms of he was close to what older Elrond was. The last playing Galadriel, and it's not a thing on her, I think it's more of the writing than anything else. It just did not match up to what Galadriel is at all.
No. Gil-galad was quite cool.
Gil-galad was quite cool.
I like Gil-galad. I like the bit where, I like the opening.
Where it showed you like the
prologue.
Yeah.
I like that bit.
We like the Balrog bit.
The Balrog and the elf bit,
the mithril, yeah.
I like that, didn't mind that. Apart from that,
there was a lot of prettiness, wasn't there? It was pretty to look at. It looked good.
Not always.
Well, yeah, but there were some pretty bits.
The pretty bits were in the prologue.
And the mithril bit. And the bit with the tree. Was that in the prologue, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Why do you think I said the bit with the prologue?
Because I can't remember if the bit with the tree was in the prologue.
But yeah, that's enough whinging for now. This is episode 1 of season 2. Let's see if we can go half an hour without hating something. Okay?
Elves abandon Middle-earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but
See, I like
all
that bit!
peoples.
No.
We are on the cusp of crafting a new kind of power.
Tell me your name.
I
I have been
many
awake.
names.
What does it say? So I've been awake since the breaking of the first sacraments. So wait, Adar claimed that he'd killed Sauron before all of that.
Galadriel? Where is Halbrand?
He's gone, and I doubt he will return.
Adar claimed that he killed Sauron after Morgoth's defeat.
Before all of this.
Yeah.
So Elrond knows that Halbrand is Sauron. And she's like, you betrayed me. She's looking at him as if he's done some horrific thing. They all deserve to know. Don't they? Why would she not tell them? Am I missing something? Have I forgotten some detail? Why is it a bad thing that Elrond knows that Halbrand's Sauron?
That's what we were confused by. She didn't tell anyone. She didn't just outwardly say, yeah, maybe we shouldn't put these rings on because
Turns out
Halbrand is Sauron.
Yeah.
Which is
Turns
kind
out
of a big
Sauron
deal.
helped us.
And kind of something that, you know, we should maybe talk about, but yeah.
Under me, your new master, Sauron.
Huh?
Oh, is this the before dawn of the Second Age?
I
This is
followed
him.
it.
This is him thinking he's killed him.
And with a new age, I bring a new vision. Many orcs will die,
Oh.
but out of the chaos, we will forge a new and perfect order. No longer will we be hunted as the demons who broke Middle-earth. By bringing its peoples together,
Is that not
rule
him?
them all as one.
I don't think so. This is him thinking he's killed him, isn't it?
Help me at your peril.
Oh my. Oh.
Right in the eye.
You know, that has to be said so far, the orcs look better.
I am your only future, and my path your only path.
Look at his eyes.
Who among you dare say otherwise?
So who is this guy?
What is that meant to be?
That's meant to be the headpiece, isn't it? Sauron's.
What headpiece? The big mask that he wears.
Hayuk Zambat.
Oh my.
Yeah, I think that's meant to be like, because it looks like his mask, doesn't it?
It looks terrible.
I assume it's not the mask, is it? It's going to be like the.
Huh? Can I just say as well, right, I think the orcs turning on Sauron might have happened in the lore, but it happened over the course of like 2,000 years. It helps that we're not as knowledgeable about the lore of Lord of the Rings. Maybe we can be a bit more.
So that was actually Sauron. They just got a different actor to play him there, and then they made him look different.
Or was he supposed to be an elf there?
Yeah, but then in all the promotional stuff, he's an elf version, but it's still the guy that played.
Yeah, but he would have to
Halbrand.
be different, wouldn't he?
So why not just get a different actor to play him as the elf version then, like that?
No, I think he was meant to be. He was an elf there.
Yeah.
So from this, he turns into Halbrand.
Yeah.
Halbrand's going to turn into a different elf
Right.
because he can't look like that same elf.
Because he would know.
Because he would know, maybe other people would know.
But surely it's more of an issue others knowing what Halbrand looks like than him knowing what he looks like. Why would he be afraid
Yeah,
of the Uruk?
I'm not entirely sure why that was a different actor there. Maybe it's meant to be a different.
I mean,
Is that supposed to be maybe
I know.
not elf, not man, but one of his other manifestations?
Maybe. But I mean, in the first season, he did, when he confronted Ada, he did say, "Remember me," and he said no. So I guess it
would have to look different to what he looked like there when he's. So is that what he looked like during
like
the War of Wrath?
Right.
Just without all the.
Right, and then he's become Halbrand. And
I don't like if that's what he was looked like during the War of Wrath. If that's what he looked like, just with all the armor on, that's stupid. I didn't want to know what he looked like underneath all the armor. So
he's a goop.
He's a black spaghetti monster. I'm really trying to be objective, but this is taking too long. It's taking too long. No, he's still the worm amalgamation. Oh god, it's gonna this entire first bit is gonna be him ending up on the raft, isn't it? In the middle of the water. It's gonna be a good 10-20 minute journey of Sauron getting onto the.
He's gonna eat this woman. I mean, he like ate the rat. And like the weird.
He shouldn't need to. Yeah, but he shouldn't have to eat people to. Oh, he did. He ate the.
Then he's gonna eat the horse.
No, the horse is away.
Okay.
It'll show rat death, but it'll not show horse death.
Yeah. He ate the woman.
That's stupid. That's stupid. I don't think we need the subtitles.
Actually, if them on, just in case. It is interesting that they wouldn't want anything to do with him, considering he was like, wasn't he like Morgoth's right hand man?
Second in command, yeah.
That way lies death, friend.
And that is my path.
I know you have suffered. I can see it in your eyes. There's another life waiting for you. You just have to turn toward it.
That heraldry. What is it?
A symbol of kings long dead. They say there's places across the sea a man can escape himself. Find another path. Perhaps another life. Come with us if you like. Or walk on. And keep chasing death.
Are we supposed to be empathising with the big bad? He's made a good friend in that wizened old man. But the wizened old man's going to die, so he's going to come back for revenge. That's stupid! That's not Sauron! Oh, he did. He went and chose a different life. No.
Or is this actually going to be all part of his plan?
It better be. He doesn't want to be ruined within the first. Ugh! Ugh!
Do you not remember that for the first season?
Ugh! Oh no, I don't.
The big sea thing, that's where she met him. That they were fighting that big sea. Well, they weren't really fighting, they were trying to survive it.
Clearly I've erased it from my memory.
Nightmares again.
Grab hold of something.
No, maybe be a bit more urgent if you don't want all of these people to die.
Okay, so we didn't help him.
So...
Oh, he got eaten by the weird shark fish thing.
Oh, it's so big. Look at it. Okay, so we just looked at it and I thought about having any of that. What was the point of that conversation with that geezer all that time? If he was just gonna... Oh god, I'm just... Ugh.
He didn't choose good.
So why did he go with them?
Okay.
Apart from the bit where the orcs killed him, what was the point of that entire stretch? What was it? What was it trying to tell us?
That he didn't choose good.
It's Sauron! We know he doesn't choose good! It's a nice horse. I prefer the black horses. Or like, Kingly in Two Towers. That's a nice horse.
Elrond just informed me your companion, this Halbrand, was not who he claimed. Yet you chose to withhold this from him and Celebrimbor. Is it true? Now who is this man?
He is no man.
Just say it's
I know, like,
Masquerading as one.
why is it what? I don't know.
Peering in fair form.
Nordinen.
What are the paths of your failure, Khazad-dûm? Leave us with but this.
You were my friend!
Aren't they related?
The rings.
No.
Who?
We dare not use them, High King. He's no doubt corrupted
He never
them.
touched them,
We
High
worked
King.
with Celebrimbor for weeks.
Sauron has not yet amassed that degree of power. These rings may be how he attains it. They must be destroyed.
That
Well, I suppose you
is far above your privilege. One you endanger with each moment you refuse to obey. The rings, Elrond.
You know, launch them off the side.
Niet hier. En
Well, Hugo Weaving never mentioned this. Yeah, we know, idiot, sure.
We see a mountain. We see a volcano.
See a giant volcano. I wonder what that is. Is that Halbrand? Yeah.
So you couldn't be more right.
I would have thought.
It's like he literally was one of the people that was so instrumental in making the rings.
I would have thought Gil-galad would be on Elrond's side because Gil-galad gives Elrond
His ring.
his ring. Oh. Oh. Lovely. Whom do you serve?
My people defeated the men of these lands. We defeated the elves who came to their aid. We even defeated their allies, the men from beyond the sea. There is no one left for us to fear.
To instruct the elves in forging a new weapon. One you first told her about. The power over flesh. Do you remember those words? A power that will allow him to use your children as slaves in his army once more.
Could never return, could he? No. Sauron is dead.
So he's saying that the rings will give him power over the orcs, essentially control them.
Yeah.
So at this point they have free will and he's going to take that away with the rings.
With his ring.
And
Because
okay.
the 9 are given to men who have dominion over all men. I suppose the belief is that by corrupting them, they corrupt all men. The elves, it's the same. Dwarves, the same. But I'm sure in the law, the elves are the only ones who could actually really use their rings and can't be corrupted because Sauron doesn't have any oh no. Because Sauron doesn't have any part in the forging of those 3 rings. So they've ballsed it up by... That's not a staff, is it?
Maybe it's a clue to what we're going to find. When we reach those stars.
It's the heat. That's all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sauron doesn't have any input on the elven rings, which is why he can't corrupt them. Was that a telescope?
Seemed to be, yeah.
We're going in circles.
There must be some evil upon this land, fusing our path.
Just a minute. We're lost.
Panic is the fool's meal, Nori. We would be wiser to sup on patience.
We haven't supped on anything since we ran out of snails. There's nothing to eat out here.
I don't think there's ever been a telescope in Lord of the Rings. Ever. I'm really trying my best not to just rag on this, but if... does it not feel... if you saw him in the street,
Further, Nori.
like that, and asked him to do an Ian McKellen impression, would he not just sound like that? Yeah, like the way he's talking and the way he's sort of the facial expressions he's pulling. It does feel like not a very good Gandalf impression.
You did it! We'll eat for days.
Tree bugs.
Oh. I was thinking of like an apple tree or something.
Yeah, maybe some oranges. Not a bunch of cockroaches.
But perhaps wizards are not always fair.
Okay, so he's a wizard. That much is confirmed.
I can feel the legs in the throat. Sometimes I perceive a glimmer of it, nonetheless. A longing, a feeling I can't remember or even name. But I know it's real. Just beyond the sunset.
It's interesting that they would say, like, wizards would be in that state when they arrive to Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Because they're there
To help.
Against Sauron, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he arrives clueless and
Arrives
purposeless
clueless and nowhere near anyone who he could possibly help.
half-futs, like...
Yeah, like... And people might say, well, he helps the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. And, you know, he kind of...
Yeah.
But
that's
Sauron's there with the elves. Would it not be...
Yeah.
Would it not have been more prudent to send them to the elves? With an idea of who he is? Maybe it's a hobbit leg.
Give it to him.
They don't need those. They look tasty.
Why would you give it to him? I'm going to try and befriend a warg.
I'm going to make a friend.
Oh?
He did all of that just to say, nicely.
He's like, ow.
Nicely!
Ow.
You take that nicely!
Undone.
The Grey Havens. Say Dan, maybe? The shipwright, or the shipmaster, or whatever he's called. Another wielder of one of the rings. It's him that gives...
Oh, is that a ship? That's a ship.
Him that gives Narya to Gandalf.
That's the fire one, isn't it?
That's absolutely him. I bet that's Círdan. Or Círdan, or whatever he's called. Círdan. It's always
Círdan.
if it's got a C on the beginning, you never know if it's S or C that it's pronounced.
So why would he go to him? Or is this unintentional, do you think? Is he deliberately going to Círdan?
He's one of the oldest. One of the wisest. And he's absolutely not at all what I imagined. Have you ever seen an elf with a beard?
Move with haste and trust no stranger upon you.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, now deal with her.
Okay, good, it's got a clasp.
That's gonna stop them.
Unbreakable.
They'll never get it.
I have yet to thank you for trusting me regarding the rings.
Trust him.
Is Galadriel not older than Gil-galad? Galadriel's really old.
I will not stop until he is destroyed. And I
What
have
age
put this right.
did she go to Middle Earth? Was it the first age? End of the first age?
You would not be here now if I thought otherwise.
Someone who could turn the tides his way.
She just figured it out like that.
Yeah. Good job, Sherlock.
Examine them.
I have seen Celebrimbor's work before. If what you told me is true, these 3 rings were made without Sauron's touch.
The enemy is cunning. The rings may well be a ploy on his part. A device in some larger plan, the end of which we cannot yet see.
Better go swimming, boy.
I forgot what I was going to say. Are they trying to drive at... The elves know
Speak
that
with him first.
the rings
He's hiking.
are bad and evil.
But they need them, so they accept it.
Yeah, they're
Quickly.
accepting that burden to protect me. That's just dumb. That's dumb.
I failed enough of late, old friend.
There's Círdan taking them.
Where did
I
it
should
go?
have trusted you, as I asked you to trust me.
He probably has a boat.
But unless we both trust in the rings now, all will be lost.
All this may be by his design.
I did what I felt was right. And time alone will reveal whether that was folly or wisdom.
I don't know what they're trying to drive at with any of these characters.
Time do you think you have?
Where's Círdan?
No, I told you. Boat. He is the shipmaster or the shipwright or the ship guy.
Ship guy.
Yeah, I just don't know what the... I mean, I'm really struggling.
Are they going to argue that the rings are corrupting them and that's why Galadriel kind of goes weird in Lord of the Rings?
Maybe, but that doesn't make any sense either. It's the one ring that's corrupt, because that's the one with all the power. But again, the point was is that Sauron wasn't involved in the making of the 3 rings. That's why he can't. That's why they can't be corrupted. So it's like, well,
Only biscuits. It's a walking song.
I think it's some kind of directions. Our folk have been wandering for years. Guess this path must have been important to you. I say
Trees of stone. Light in the tower no longer my home. I trade all I've known for the unknown ahead.
it's a really good Braveheart theme they've got going on. I don't know why the telescope's triggering me so much. There's never been a telescope in Lord of the Rings. Why is there suddenly a telescope? What? When did they invent that technology? It's always made me wonder why Círdan has the ring of fire, the ring of water. You know, it's kind of... But I'm not going to question Tolkien's law.
They offered me wine on that dark and nameless peak. I drank it. I drank it all.
Thangorodrim.
Your people have been set free.
Was that the peak?
Now tell me what you know of Sauron.
I vow to serve the Lord of Mordor to the end of my days, and his.
All hail the king.
As coals too long removed from the hearth, we must return to our home or diminish forever into endless night. And so it has come to pass, our days in Middle-earth are ended.
Celebrimbor has brought it to Middle-earth.
Okay, he needs another ring. He's got about 1 million of them.
Galadriel.
Oh my god, this isn't the one ring? The hell's going on? So just because Gil-galad just happened to drop it near her, she gets to wear one.
She's not been worthy of one at all throughout the first season.
No.
Are they going to do that? Like they did in the...
They're not the one ring. Why are they all acting so crazy? If you were Gil-galad, you're like, God, I wish you'd arrived before I sang that whole song.
No, just poured my heart out.
I know.
For what?
Now I got to tell them that I was only joking.
What are they going to do there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 were given to the elves.
Yeah. Wait, I knew it was going to happen.
What are they do? It's just done like this for a little while.
Power Rangers. Yeah, they're like some weird, yeah.
What are they doing? Oh, it's Gil-galad.
So why isn't
Not
he just like,
Gil-galad,
okay...
Celebrimbor. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Why is he like, okay, you know, yeah, fair enough, it worked. Now take it off and give it to someone more deserving?
Yeah.
Because from the first season, she was nothing... She did not... He had no reason for her to have the ring.
That's a really big anvil.
Forgive me, my lord, but a messenger has just arrived.
Word from Lindon.
To the contrary, my lord. This messenger is from the Southlands. He says he wants to negotiate.
So he hasn't received the message yet that he's Sauron.
He probably can't get the clasp off.
Do we grant him entry?
Oh, well, thanks for clearing that up for us.
Where's this again?
Lindon.
No, Lindon is...
Eregion.
Eregion.
Based on the things by Tolkien. No, it's not.
Oh.
Right, we don't need to say that.
Okay.
We don't need to say that. Yeah, that was just... It feels like it felt during the last... It feels like nothing has changed. The only really good thing to be taken away from that is the orcs looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially in that opening sequence.
They look like they were actually in, like, prosthetics and stuff, didn't they, as opposed
rather
to...
than CGI'd, yeah.
It's just, I don't... It just doesn't fit. It's just not what I imagined. You know what I mean? Like, is that really how the rings happened? Especially for the elves?
No.
Like, is that what you're telling us? That just, you know, Gil-galad, he just happened to drop that ring, and that's the ring that she ends up getting. It's like, no.
I swear, I don't know what makes us... I'm sure Galadriel's older than Gil-galad. The Silmarils that were made... The guy who wanted to make them, I'm forgetting his name, wanted some of her hair to make the Silmarils. That's why it's important that when Gimli asks for one of her hairs, she gives him 3. And that's the sort of... She wouldn't give this guy who wanted to make the Silmarils from her hair, but she wanted to give it to Gimli purely because she knew that he would never ever treasure anything as much as he treasured that. Why is that? What is going on? Yeah, I don't know.
It's very, like... Also, them like her ring in particular was massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But just her as a character is just so far from Kate Blanchett's.
I know.
Galadriel, to the point where you almost don't realise that it's the same. It's the same character.
I know. It's just there's parts of it that's like I just don't. I don't know. Like I don't know what they're trying to do with so many of the characters. Like,
see, for me, I'm not Elrond there. I'm like, okay, because that's something I could see the other Elrond doing. Him being like, okay, actually no, we shouldn't use them, and so he's going to try and take them away and get them destroyed. I didn't dislike that.
no, but the initial thing with the rings is that Sauron has nothing to do with the forging of the 3 elven rings.
I know, but in the show.
I know, but why? It goes back to the last season. It goes back to the last. Like, why paint yourself into that corner where they've had to go through all this rigmarole? I don't think Elrond would be like that. I think Elrond would secede to Galadriel. I think he would just say, okay, fair enough. You know.
Do you think?
Yeah. And Gil-galad.
I know, but he just always come across as really headstrong and like, no.
Oh, he's headstrong, but he's not like above wisdom. It's just, I don't know. Why are these rings corrupted, acting as if they're corrupting them? They're making them seem like the same as the one. They're not the same as the one. That's the point.
Like that whispering that the One Ring always had in Lord of the Rings. It's like that.
And there was that bit there where she had the ring in her hand, and he goes, and his voice is kind of drowned out.
Yeah.
And that's what the One Ring does to Frodo, to like turn him against Sam.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the One Ring.
Yeah. It's very... Just the whole... Because it made me realise... So I know a little bit about Elrond.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that it's Galadriel and Celeborn?
Mm-hmm.
Celeborn's daughter he marries.
Right. So they are technically related.
Yeah.
Not blood related, but related.
No. But I'm just like, so at what point? Because I'm sure... in the Second Age, Galadriel is already like why isn't Celeborn here? If Elrond isn't married to their daughter, why isn't Celeborn here? Where's the daughter? Why is that not mentioned? Because she has to be old enough for. I'm sure they get married in like the Second Age, so why isn't she here? Why is Celeborn not with her? I'm very confused on that.
Because she don't need no man.
So
they're playing very fast and heavy with the law, as far as I'm concerned.
Just all the they're kind of skirting around the elves in terms of which elven kingdoms are established at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Gondolin. Have they done anything with Gondolin yet? It's just very. Yeah, the elves feel a bit weird for me.
It all feels a bit weird. That bit where Sauron was just an amalgamation of worms, and he ate a woman and then became a man. The hell's that? What's
Science.
that about?
I don't know. The second I saw that woman, I was like, yeah, he's going to eat that woman.
Like, Sauron's supposed to be ridiculously, not necessarily powerful. He's conniving, and obviously I think that's going to be the point of this season, is that it's supposed,
he's
showing him playing all the sides.
But it should have been in the first season.
He is quite powerful, though.
Well, isn't he the same as Gandalf? Or who is he the same?
No.
Who's he the same as? He's meant to be like this, like.
Gandalf is the same as the Balrog. The Balrogs and Gandalf are the same.
Right.
Because they are Maya.
Okay.
Maya, which are like angels.
So what is
Sauron
he
might
then?
be the same.
I'm sure Sauron's something like that.
It might be the
he?
same, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it might be.
Because wasn't it the whole thing of like he was corrupted by Morgoth, or
might be,
whichever
yeah.
one it was? That was corrupting them all.
But it's.
I don't know enough about all that, but yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen to the audiobook again.
Just Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's about 20 hours long.
Yeah, it's so complex. It hurts your brain every time you read it.
No, it's Andy Serkis reading it to me.
Oh, well then just do it for that. But Gandalf. I'm just going to call him Gandalf. Because if it's not Gandalf, then why all the links? Why all the... It's not even links to the point where it's like a little nudge. It's like...
It's blatant painting.
He is literally a wizard in grey next to a hobbit. Or like an ancestor of the hobbits. Like, if it's not Gandalf, then what the hell are they doing? I just don't... It just doesn't make sense, because the whole story of him, like we said before, was he's sent to Middle-earth to help against Sauron after the War of the Last Alliance. So why is he here? What purpose is he serving, being here now? Arriving completely clueless and not even knowing anything. He just knows he needs to find these stars. It's like...
Yeah.
What good is he going to do in this state?
Yeah, like he's sent by Eru to defeat Sauron, but Eru thinks he'll play a prank on him. He'll send him there, he'll not know who he is, he'll not know what the crack is, he'll not know anything at all, and somehow he's got to save Middle-earth. It's like, because that's not what Tolkien had in mind.
Is the picture that they're painting that he's gonna spend all this time searching for himself, grasping control of his power and figuring him, like, all this stuff out, helping the hobbits establish the Shire, which I assume is going to happen in this show. The War of the Last Alliance is going to happen, and then he's going to go, oh, you know what? That guy, bit weird. I maybe should probably help him with him in the future. It's like, I feel like if Gandalf was around during the War of the Last Alliance, he absolutely would have been involved.
Yeah.
Like
that's the wizard's job.
Yeah,
but they're sent there after Sauron is supposedly defeated, but because the One Ring isn't destroyed, you all know that there is the potential for Sauron to come back. So it doesn't make any sense for him or any other wizard to be sent there at this point. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. It's so bewildering. Do you know what it is? I don't think this show will have a third season.
I think they will, just to annoy people further.
They might.
They've got a long way to go. Like a long way. If you're gonna, again, I'm trying not to. It's not the actor's fault. I want to point that out. But Galadriel, she for me has the longest way to go. It was always going to be hard to match up to Cate Blanchett. It always is in those kind of situations when another actor's coming in to play the same kind of part. But good God, the writing has not done her any justice.
No.
Like the poor girl has got like a lot.
The thing is, there's only like what 4 characters here that have to try and match up to characters that were already in Lord of the Rings. So there's Galadriel, Elrond, Sauron, if you want to count him, and Gandalf. Right. Never ever going to compare to Ian McKellen. That's not happening. No matter what he does, he could cure poverty, and he wouldn't compare to Ian McKellen. That guy is doing his absolute best to be as good as Hugo Weaving, but he's never ever going to be as good as Hugo Weaving.
He's probably the closest.
Yeah. I would like to see him.
I
would like to see him in Imladris. You know, being a bit more homely.
Yeah.
You know, Galadriel, for me, she's a lost cause. I think
she's the furthest away.
The writing for her has just.
She just doesn't. There's just this aura. And I know we don't like the word aura.
Yeah, I don't like the word.
But there's just this thing about Cate Blanchett's Galadriel where it just sucks you in. It just makes you feel like she commands the room.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? She has wisdom, but it's not so much to the point where it's like overbearing and she makes you feel lesser. She just lifts people up, and it's like she just doesn't have that. And it's the writing.
Quiet charisma.
Yeah, you want to listen to her because you know what she's going to say is going to be useful and helpful, and she's not going to make you feel like crap. And it's like,
which is the opposite for her
from the first season. Yeah.
But then the other one is Sauron, and it's like, it's bad enough that they take this sort of almost omnipresent, half omnipresent thing, this super dark lord who can see whenever you put the ring on, and he can see you. So if you want to use it to hide or whatever, he can see you, and he becomes this scary villain. and now he's just he's getting hit by an orc with a hammer.
He's like the silent orchestrator, isn't he? He's like the puppet master.
Yeah.
He's just in the shadows, and you never...
Like, the only time you ever see him in the first in the Lord of the Rings trilogy is before he gets beaten.
The prologue.
Yeah.
Bit.
And poor this guy, he's miles away from being that cool.
That was going to be hard either way, because like you say, we never knew. We had never had much to go off of Sauron. We just saw that in the prologue, and then it was just always kind of the eye, and
yeah,
and that was it. So
then there was, but you would hear like stories about him. Sauron the Deceiver gave to them 9 rings of power.
Like they built him up.
Yeah, this super clever guy super clever thing, not really a guy, who could convince all of these people to bend to his will. And in the end, it took one last desperate act of defiance from elves, men, and dwarves and eagles to stop him. It took everyone coming together to stop him. It doesn't feel like he can pull that off. And it's because of the way the show's been written, not because of the way the guy's playing it. That bit where he was down on the floor and he did the creepy smile, that was quite...
He's got the creepiness down.
That was quite good. But there was large chunks... It's a bit like... What did we watch? What was it? The Acolyte. It's a bit like The Acolyte, where there was a good 20-30 minutes of that could have been cut out. What the heck did I have to see him eating a rat for? What did that add? He didn't turn into a rat.
I would have... Sure, that bit at the beginning, by all means, of him... He's trying to, rouse the orcs or whatever, and he gets betrayed. Because then I guess that's his motivation to be a bit more cruel towards the orcs and to Adar.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he wants his vengeance against Adar. Fair enough. Do that. But the whole, the goopty-goop of him going up and eating...
Must have been a good 5 minutes.
About 10 minutes, and then when he finally becomes the Halbrand version of himself and he goes with the men, and then
that section with the old that was completely pointless.
We knew that because we knew that from the first season, because they didn't have to explain it in full detail, but we knew, okay, they've obviously been on a boat, they've obviously been attacked by whatever the hell this sea creature is, and now they're in this predicament.
Yeah.
We didn't need to see that.
But it kind of made it seem like he was going to go, oh yeah, I choose good. And then he went and he had that little bit where he was like, I've done evil. Almost as if he's remorseful for doing all the evil and stuff. And then, so it makes you think he's going to go down it. And then he just leaves the guy and it's like, well, choose something. Either make him the ultimate bad guy, or make him a repentant bad guy.
That was obviously just the Deceiver bit, right? He's like this remorseful kind of whatever human man who's lost his way, and he's seeking guidance from this older man. So he's deceived him more. He's actually just left him to die. It's like
But what's the point?
It's a bit pointless.
Like, I assume the reason that he was deceiving them is because he was after that thing, because he wanted to rouse the elves to go to the Southlands.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Make it a lot clearer that that's what he's after.
But even then, though, you're telling me that he goes through all that, and he just so happens to come across these people, just because these orcs have just so happened to attack this village, and he sees this one guy whose family used to serve the old kings, who just so happens to have this sigil or this crest of these old kings, and he goes, oh, you know what, I can use that. You're telling me that that was his plan, that he just so happened to think that up on the spot? Like, that was very coincidental.
Yeah. Anyway, let's stop ranting. We've got another 2 episodes to watch. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Try and be nice. Oh yeah, you know the bit where the last season, and the beginning bit, it showed you where they were in the fortress and they all betrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to happen over about 2,000 years, and it happened in about a month.
I wouldn't even say a month. I'd say a week.
They've compacted all of that, and it's literally about 2,000 years worth of history in like the Lord of the Rings lore, and they did it in it might have been even a week for all we know, but you know,
hour.
They had to sail to, no, I mean in shore time.
Oh, it's like Morgoth is defeated, and like a week later,
yeah, they all
turned
just.
on Sauron. That doesn't make sense, because, like I said, in that time, so like what, a month passed, and it's like Sauron was Morgoth's right hand man. Why wouldn't you listen to him?
Yeah.
Obviously, Morgoth you know, believed in them. He wanted them to
Yeah,
succeed.
but is Adar's thing not that he doesn't want them just to be slaves?
Yeah, but surely at that point he's not done enough to warrant them turning on him.
But also, at the beginning of the prologue, wasn't he? He had that bit where he was in a similar looking place and he had all his cool armour on, and they were all cheering for him. Shut up.
That's what I mean. It's like, show us a bit of, you know, context, like why the orcs turned on him. Maybe they were all on his side, and then he started to show that we didn't care about the orcs. He's getting them to do pointless things. He's killing them because they're not, you know, doing what he's saying straight away or whatever. Fair enough. Show us that. Show us the cruel side of Sauron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you showed that, fair play, or even just in flashback form, so it doesn't take up too much time. Fair play. But for me, I'm kind of just like, okay, how long has it been since Morgoth's died, and now you turn on his right hand man? Because why?
Yeah. Shows why a show like this doesn't work. When you've got something to measure up to, like The Lord of the Rings, and you don't go right from the very beginning of this lore and just go through, you struggle unless you get it really right, and they haven't gotten it really right. Yeah, anyway, that was us reacting to the first episode of Rings of Power. Let us know what you think. Try and be nice. First and foremost, we do not blame the people playing these characters. You know, I imagine they're trying their very best, but the writing's letting them down. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload every day. I'm really burping a lot internally here, you know. Anything else you want to say?
I feel like this animated shows for this would be better.
Yeah.
Because they could show you more and not have to worry about how ridiculous, like, it looking bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it wouldn't all be CGI.
Yeah. Like, if it's animated, it's easier to make an animation, I think, look good.
Get Andy Serkis. Oh no, better yet, get Kate Blanchett to narrate it all. Or Ian McKellen. Or Hugo Weaving, I don't care. Just
any of them.
One of those people that
have... They could all come back to play their characters.
No, not play their characters, narrate.
Why narrate?
Prologue, epilogue.
Oh. I mean, I was talking about them voicing the characters, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Thank you for watching.